Welcome, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is your host, Galadon. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm having a pretty good day myself, me and my trusty friends, the Hog Riders. That's right, it is episode 10 of Fix Farm Gem Max That Rush Town Hall 12. Galadon and 32 Hog Riders are bringing in the 3 stars, the trophies, and more importantly, the loot. Time and time again. So, let's go ahead and go through a couple of these attacks. Now, I'm going to break down the first one, then I'm going to go ahead and let a special guest commentator break down the second attack. Alright, so yes, I'm having a great time here with the Hog Riders, 32 of them. This is, of course, the rushed account, so I have lower level heroes. I decided that it would be fun to go ahead and do a Queen Charge, Queen Walk, Hog Rider style attack. Now, as far as farming goes, generally not a great idea to bring a Dark Elixir army when you're trying to gain Dark Elixir, and pretty much at any Town Hall level above 6, you're going to be hunting for lots and lots of Dark Elixir, except for, okay, maybe not Town Hall 8 as much, but just saying, okay? So especially right here with these heroes that need lots of help, trying to get the Dark, but I thought, you know what, hey, it's time to shift things up. We tried Miners. Of course, that was with the Queen Charge as well, but let's just, practice Hog Riders. And then I thought to myself, this is a great idea. This is a fantastic way to get better at war, to practice your war strategy while you're out farming or trophy hunting. And obviously there are going to be fundamental differences. You can't really get your practice in deciphering war bases, figuring out where to come from when you're looking at a more traditional, most of these are these ring bases or Town Hall protected or Dark Elixir protected bases. But the fundamentals of getting an effective Queen Charge, Queen Walk to work are still there. And of course the fundamentals of spell timing and placement, predicting the pathing of your troops, keeping them alive when the Giga Bomb goes off, not so much. That is an issue I keep running into is, the Warden, look, he was right there. So the Warden's ability would have been perfect. And of course now this didn't really matter that much in this particular base because we overran it anyway. It wasn't the hardest. I think maybe the heroes were down or the CC was empty, something like that. But every now and then the Hog Riders just get in and absolutely devastate everything. And this was kind of a close one. I mean, we didn't have a lot of hogs left. The skeletons are still harassing the hogs. But then check out the P.E.K.K.A. walk, top left corner of the screen. The healer tracking down that P.E.K.K.A. and she is just going to town in the core of this base. So it came down to a matter of time, worked out pretty well. So fundamentally, it can be tough to get a good funnel going, a fundamental funnel, that is. But once you've overpowered a base, maybe it's not maxed out, maybe there's something sleeping or empty, it's relatively easy. And it just comes down to a matter of time and a matter of can you get to the core. But we'll cover that in a minute as we've got what? There was only 2 Hog Riders left in this base. 2 Hog Riders, a P.E.K.K.A. and a few minions, and the P.E.K.K.A., unfortunately for her, she couldn't really get in on the action here at the end. It was all Hog Rider and minion. Well, there goes another giant bomb for the Hog Riders. It was all minion, and there's the 3-star, and some pretty solid loot. We weren't necessarily just going after major loot. We were looking for bases that were tough that we could send the hogs at. All right, let's go ahead with another Hog Rider attack, and my guest commentator. Go right ahead.
Well, it's about time, because Hog Riders, we are the best attacking troop at Town Halls 9, 10, 11, and 12. When I bring my trusty hammer, there is no base that can stop me. Me and my trusty riding friends will crush every defense as long as you give us the time, Galadon. Because I noticed you're not very good with time.
I'm
It's
fine.
true.
No,
He's also not very good
What?
with Hog Riders for a longer...
you don't need to be getting into that right now, okay?
And he also doesn't use Hog
Okay.
Riders very much.
All right.
I
think maybe this was a mistake, Mr. Hog Rider.
Gyarados.
Okay, so maybe you should just,
Fine.
go on.
I'm taking my hammer.
Yeah, thank you, though. I appreciate it. All right. Thinking maybe he had too long of a conversation with Peter $17 before he brought him on. But you can understand that the Hog Rider, he made a point, okay? Time is important in these Queen Charge, Queen Walk attacks, but the same is true with the Miner. Maybe we'll have the Miner on in the future to talk about those attacks. And also, yes, I was kind of intimidated by the Hog Rider for a long time, okay? There were many years where I just kind of avoided Hog Riders something about double giant bombs and, the placement of the heal spells being kind of tricky. I just didn't practice. And, that's the big thing, is all it really takes is practice. And what better place to do it? Farming is actually the ideal place to practice, because at least there, if you fail, you're not really, it's not going to cost you. Whereas even in trophy hunting, if you fail, that can obviously cost you a lot of trophies, and you never really want to practice in war, but that's what friendly challenges are for as well. And that's the thing. Make sure you're in a clan where you're not embarrassed, you're not afraid. Don't ever be afraid to get those friendly challenges out, whether people watch or not. It is amazing practice, and it definitely will help you get better. And I don't know, I feel like watching a lot of these tribe gaming queen charge, queen walks, that's really the hardest part of one of these attacks, is getting that right entry, getting the funneling correct for your archer queen's charge, and then of course funneling the hogs. I've noticed that what I'm still doing is just spamming all of my hogs in one spot, and that is definitely not as advanced as what you see tribe doing, where they'll send in maybe like 2/3 or 3/4 of the hogs, and then the rest is this other small pack that comes off to the side, and somehow they always end up merging. They are just out there to get 1 or 2 fringe defenses, and then they merge with the rest of the hog riders. So that is kind of more advanced hog strategy. I'm certainly going to plan on working on that, but we'll see. Now right here, this worked out pretty well. Again, you'll notice the archer queen and the archers, they go off to deal with the balloons, but the hogs, they get that elixir storage out of the way, and we pick up another over 1.5 million in loot and nearly 6,000 dark elixir. Now, base after base after base kept on falling to my amazing hog rider strategy, which again is not that amazing, but it worked out pretty well. The general idea, and I'll just give it to you right here, was that I would either A, try to charge after the town halls to make sure the town hall is down and out of the way, or B, try to find a spot like this where there was great value once I got into the other segment of the base. So here you can see the archer queen is going to be able to take out the eagle artillery. It looks like 2 inferno towers. Now, of course, she has to survive the single target inferno, which I generally would never intentionally go after, say, in a war attack. I don't want to risk losing the queen charge to a single target inferno, but with the ice golem inside the wall wrecker, some of the time, maybe most of the time, the ice golem freezes that single target inferno, and it just happens to work out. This was one of those times where, yes, sure enough, I brought 2 ice golems, which I actually switched to from an ice golem and a P.E.K.K.A because I saw Itsu doing it. And watch as the first ice golem, the freeze does wear off, but the second ice golem is again going to freeze the single target inferno, and this time the archer queen is there to take it out of the way. So kind of a lucky turn of events right there, but I guess maybe that's part of the plan of doing the charge the way we do, where you get the archer queen to follow in that siege machine and make sure that those ice golems get locked onto and burned down and freeze up everything in the area. So generally exactly what I had hoped, except for we haven't gotten to the defending archer queen yet, but there's really nowhere else this time for the archer queen to go but towards the core. Now, a jump spell would have been amazing. The archer queen would have gotten in, got the defending archer queen down, but also single target infernos, they are notoriously bad against attacks like mass hog rider, mass miner, because they can obviously only target 1 troop at a time. So this came down to well-timed abilities. Okay, maybe not the best timed abilities. Again, see, I'm doing it again. I'm stacking the warden ability with the heal spell. Not a good idea. Trying to save the warden ability more frequently for that town hall. You'll notice, again, the Giga Bomb wiped out half of my hog riders, but okay, that time what happened was the warden had pathed over the defending archer queen. He would have been gone anyway before the Giga Bomb went off, so there was no chance for him to save himself and those hogs. We reduced our attacking force by nearly 50% when we lost them to the Giga Bomb, but my archer queen finally broke through that wall. She rejoined the force for a while there, and again, because of a base that's not necessarily as tough as an anti-3-star war base, not as maxed out, maybe it had some things missing or some things upgrading, it worked out. And it's just, again, great practice, and it's been a lot of fun on the Town Hall 12, although a bit wasteful, but I just say that because you could be using miners instead, and you wouldn't use anywhere near the dark elixir that I was using for the mass hog rider attack. But again, it's good practice, and I want to switch it up just because otherwise the farming is going to get a little bit stale. I probably will switch back to dragons and loons and minions, but I think my favorite attacking strategy right now is the Queen Charge Miner. That one didn't quite work out. Sure enough, Mr. Hog Rider called it, and yeah, we ran out of time. Just all right. Let's move on to something else. All right. So again, every single base I faced fell to this attack. We're going to take a look at another one. This was a little bit softer of a base. This is more typical of what I'm finding around the Champion 3 Master 1 range. You know, maxed out Town Hall 12s, I'm not really able to, for the most part, to 3-star them right now, simply because my heroes are You know, my heroes are still in their 30s, and I would like to at least get them into their 50s so that they start feeling strong. And then again, a lot of single target Infernos. You know, you see that so often in these bases that are out in multiplayer for trophies or for farming. Players using single target Infernos instead of multis. Right now in Champion 1 in War, you see the majority is certainly multi-target Infernos, and out here it's definitely the other way around. Now this one, we got the only single target down, which was a great feeling. Again, the Ice Golem Freeze works out. The funneling, well, we just got a little bit lucky right here. Got through 3 layers of walls with the Siege Machine, and the Archer Queen found her way to the core. And this is generally exactly what I want to happen. I want my Queen Charge to take the Town Hall out for 2 reasons. One, because the hogs won't target a Town Hall until you've passed 50%, so they might run right past it. Number 2, the Giga Bomb on the maxed out Town Halls. Oh man, I just cannot tell you how many times I've had my entire hog army vaporized when they get to the Town Hall. Luckily, that's almost always the 2nd star, and I can at least be happy with a 2-star if I'm raiding with hogs. So, trying to avoid those 2 things. The Hog Riders, again, helping me learn my heal spell placement and timing as the hogs move through. I think that I could probably afford to be more conservative than I have been, to wait a little bit longer, to let the hogs take more damage before I drop in a heal spell, because I always find myself running out of heal spells early and thinking, man, if I just had one more. So I'm trying to resist, trying to hold off and drop them a little bit later. Again, a great place to make these mistakes is here rather than during, say, CWL. So yes, this base got completely overrun. The loot was pretty massive. We're going to let it run out so that we pick up the last of the resources, and I'm not even sure if we lost a single Hog Rider there. I didn't see any spring off with a spring trap either, which was kind of nice. Giant bombs out there, they don't really care. Which is, again, one of the great things about Hog Riders is that double giant bomb combo no longer wipes them out completely. All right, so back to the base. We've got the progress base up. We've got over 10 million elixir saved up, so it is time to take our Grand Warden to level 21. So that is on the list, or was on the list, for things we wanted to get done during this specific episode. So the Grand Warden on his way up. The Archer Queen, I don't quite have the Dark Elixir yet to get the Archer Queen to 40. I know that's another big goal, but let's wake up the Warden because we're not done farming. Now, this episode was filmed during a live stream, and although I was super close to getting the Archer Queen without gems, Jensa from the live stream, thank you for your generosity, but also I have to blame you for a somewhat impatient gemming of the last 300 gems. He donated it and he said, hey, you've got to use this and get the Archer Queen skin. We want to see it right now. So I did, and we picked up the Gladiator Archer Queen. A bunch of these are still, you know, we've got, full storages. So at some point between now and the end of this season, we need to manage this and see what we can salvage and what we have to sell. Personally, again, I hate to sound like a broken record. I think that this is not right. I think that if you were spending money on the gold pass, those items should absolutely stack. And that's something that I'm going to continue to bring up. And in fact, I'm headed to Supercell for a non-Clash related thing in another 10 days or so. I'm going to make sure that they hear my mind on that one, because I think that it's not right that you can't stack items even when you've purchased the gold pass for physical cash. Okay, so I'm off the soapbox. Okay, we got the heroes upgraded. We're still going to get the Archer Queen to 40. We need to do that. And in order to do that, we had to get out and farm more. So just a real brief double speed end of a couple of different raids here. Again, the Hog Riders are running havoc all over these bases, picking up loot like crazy, and the 3 stars, although of course not every single time, were abundant. And despite the fact that hogs are expensive to train as far as Dark Elixir, we're picking up like 5,000 to 6,000 Dark Elixir every single raid. So we're certainly coming out ahead, just not as fast as if we were using a different army. And every now and then, just about running out of time, but picking it up. And there you can see one more time, like 6,600 Elixir from that raid. Here is another end where it's again the Hog Riders coming in. This time they're trying to get into the Town Hall. The Town Hall under construction. Thank you very much. That worked out very well. Got a little bit lucky, and another 5,500 or so Dark Elixir. And I just checked because I was curious as well. The Hog Rider army that I am using costs 198,800 Elixir and 3,142 Dark Elixir. So yeah, it's definitely expensive in the dark. You're only going to pick up a couple thousand and profit each time. But we got there. We got the Archer Queen. Here she comes, level 40. Feels good. I know it's just a number, but you know, it's another level for her, and she's working her way up. Obviously, the Grand Warden now is going to 22, and the Barb King starting to feel a little bit left behind. It looks like he's watching her sleep, which is kind of creepy when you think about it. But okay, so let's go ahead and fast forward again. We'll take a look here. Yes, Teslas. Of course, we always want to prioritize the trollage, trying to get the Teslas. I cannot wait to have all level 10 maxed out Teslas. That is one of my top priorities. And then, of course, the heroes, get them stronger. And, okay, as long as we've got some spare cash lying around, we're going to go ahead and gem another series of cannons and maybe a couple of archer towers. We just did this to the point where we ran out of gold, because always I'm trying to log out as close to broke as I can, because I know that with a base that is as rushed as this one, that logging out broke is going to prevent you from losing a lot of loot. And this is something for everybody to remember. You know, my base may not always be consistent with a rushed base and how you would want to upgrade, because I'm focusing on the trolley stuff first. But when it comes to logging out broke, if you can, get those builders active. Spend as much of your loot as you can, because somebody else is going to take it from you, especially if you're going to be offline longer than half a day or so, and you're going to get attacked a couple of times. So there we go. That is about as far as we can get there. And it's status report time. Here we go. Okay, so total amount spent today. Once again, we didn't spend anything. The total stands at 848.67. Now I added a new category, gems spent. So today's gems spent, 3,133 gems, and time spent, more hours gone, 26 hours and 15 minutes. The next goals, of course, continue the walls and the heroes, and like I said, Teslas, and how about the tornado trap? I want to get that tornado trap upgraded so that that can help try to hold off those 3-star attackers in Clan War. But as you may have seen in recent videos, that's continuing to be difficult. All right, so thank you as always for sticking around to the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you did, please leave a like on the video, turn on notifications, subscribe, get ready for the earliest and most accurate updated information. Get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, be kind to people, animals, and the planet. I'll see you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Nailed it.
Gallington, no more afternoon caffeine for you, sir.